We're going to be talking about, oh, I'm sorry, I'm upside down. Hold on. We're talking about the book. We're joking with CARL REINER, but he has another book coming out, an autobiography. Not this book. He'll talk about today at the Pacific Pioneer Broadcasters luncheon.
Forget that so easy.
Bananas, you know, for years he was the great second banana with Sid Caesar on the Show of Shows. So now he's one of the busiest writers, directors, umbrellas, shoehorns in Hollywood. He does everything. He's an antimacassar. Would you welcome CARL REINER?
Amazing. He's really a great song and dance man. We wanted to thank Johnny K for doing a fabulous job with editing that video piece. Also, we'd like to thank the following supporters of PPB for providing those clips. They are Lee Hale, Bill DeSico from Retro Video, and Jeff Sotzing from the Carson Entertainment Group. Let's give them a round of applause. Notice that Mel's hand features an additional finger. So I wonder what people will think when they see that handprint preserved in hard concrete with a sixth finger. They're going to say, he's either a freak of nature or a genius. And CARL REINER hangs out with this guy. Now, our host for this portion of the program is a past recipient of the PP. Spent decades in broadcasting, and he has distinguished himself in admirable fashion. He began his broadcast career back in 1972 in Massachusetts, eventually working his way into network television. Tom was a fill-in anchor on Good Morning America. He has hosted the Primetime Emmy Awards, the Miss America pageant, and the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Foundation's College Awards Gala. Currently, he is hosting Dancing with the Stars and America's Funniest Home Videos. Please welcome a good friend of CARL REINER's, Mr. Tom Bergeron.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. I particularly enjoyed that whole Mel Brooks thing because he had given me that finger himself. Just a cheap joke. This is such an honor to be here. First of all, it's great to be back amongst you again, and I look with pride at the award you gave me, which hangs in my office. But it's especially an honor to be here today, because the gentleman who's about to come on this stage was a pioneer before pioneers were even thought of. He was an East Coast pioneer back in the days of Your Show of Shows with Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca. Then he was a West Coast pioneer in the days of the Dick Van Dyke Show, which, though shot here, was set in New York and New Rochelle, which instantly made him a bi-coastal pioneer. He is a man of amazing accomplishments. When I visit his home, we move the Emmys out of the way so there's a place to sit. He is a mensch, a lovely man, an icon of comedy. and I'm so proud to call him a friend. Please welcome the one and only CARL REINER. Where'd they get these seats from? Guantanamo? I mean,
the first question is to ask, with a tie or without a tie? There's a tie there. How many people are out there without a tie? Raise your hand. With a tie?
Oh, women.
The without a ties have it.
yeah, there you go.
Okay. Anyway, I can't tell you how pleased I am to be here because, well, it's 92, you're pleased to be anywhere. Anyway, the thing I'm most proud of is that, oh, you know something? I've written 2 books. One is called I Remember Me, it's a memoir. And then I realized, after I'd finished it, things kept popping in my head. Every time I walk around the block, a memory would come to me. So I wrote another book called I Just Remembered. Believe it or not, at home I have 100 pages into a new book called What I Had Almost Forgotten. And so what's going to happen here today is I would like to tell you a little bit about my life using this as a template. By the way, in one of these books, I think it's this one, I just remembered, there are 2 wonderful pictures of our friend here, Tom Bergeron, whom I've known a long, 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 long time. Yes, as a matter of fact, I don't know if I wrote about it here, but I'm so pleased that he's here. There's a chapter in this book about him, and I liken it to one of my favorite things in the whole world, a hot dog with sauerkraut. Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you, I'll talk about that because it's interesting. When I was 16, I had a date to have lunch with Tom Bergeron, which we do every once in a while when he's in town, and I wasn't feeling well that morning. I was lying in bed, and I said, gee, I don't know if I can go out and eat. I really wasn't feeling well. And I used a test that I had when I was 7 or 8 years old, when I was a kid going to school. I never wanted to miss school. I loved going to school. And I remember lying in bed and not feeling well. And I said, do I feel sick enough not to go to school? And I tested by saying, if my mother walked into the room now and offered me a hot dog on a bun with sauerkraut, could I eat it? If the answer was yes, I'd go to school. If the answer was no, I stayed home. Using that test, I didn't go out with Tom Bergeron. However, the following week, we went out and had a hot dog. We did.
I could just sit here and listen to you.
I expect you to not sit here,
But I have to just, I don't think I've ever asked you this in all the time we've known each other. Do you remember the first laugh you ever got?
The first laugh I ever got, yes, I was 3 years old. Oh, no, not in the 3rd grade. I was about seven or... I was very, very limber. I could put my feet behind my head, walk around on my hands. And the teacher thought that was so good, and the kids laughed. And it was so good. It was a Christmas holiday, and she took me around to the other classes, and I walked around on my hands. I also could put my foot behind my neck and hop on one leg. First laugh I ever got. By the way, I noticed you can cross your legs.
Yeah, we were, among other things, while we were waiting to come out, we were discussing that we can both do this.
I can
we
still
both
do
get
that.
into a full lovely. And you still can.
Yes, I was thinking at 92. And in my new book that's not here, I have a piece of interesting advice. But this is for longevity, for people who want to make their years long. I say, if you want to feel when you're past your 90s, to make every day seem, feel longer, I say, go out every day, have dinner with boring people who talk boringly, have a boring dinner, boring food, go to boring movies, watch boring TV. The days won't be any longer, but they will seem so much longer. I said, and in his hand, he had a jar and an open thing. He knew it, but he was thinking about something else. And without thinking, he went like this. He screwed the top out, and he put the olive jar on the table next to his desk. And he was not aware he had done it. Not aware he had done it. By the way, sense memory is giving a thing happen. And he's the only actor in the history of pantomime. When anybody pantomimes smoking a cigarette, they do this. He's the only one who left his face in his lip for the cigarette. When he was smoking a cigarette, he had his fingers open to take the cigarette out and close his lips. Anyway, that was Sid. Sid made up words, and we were doing once two emissaries from the British Empire going down to some tribal group and to make rapprochement with them, and it was a horse racing. It was a horse race, and in the very end was the big joke. But the big joke for me was Sid had Sid, by the way, always didn't trust the people that when he got a glass of water to drink on stage in the show, that it would be clean. So he always faked drinking. He was always working. But in this thing, the joke was to make a rapprochement between the two countries, we had to drink from a ram's horn. There was a big ram's horn, and in it, this is the thing he put in it. He made up a word. He said, we drink of the rare Gucha Yucha juice. The Gucha Yucha juice. And to cement our relationship, we drink the rare Gucha Yucha juice. You'll drink first. And so I drank the Gucha Yucha with some prune juice. I drank it. And Sid was always worried about germs and stuff. And I'll never forget this. He had a gun on the side, and it was a gun that was loaded with a wad, not a real bullet. But he looked into the Gucha Yucha juice, and he looked up, he looked at me, he took a gun out, and he shot. I mean, I couldn't believe how funny and crazy it was. First of all, I said two things. How do you know it wouldn't explode the thing? And the thing of shooting, whatever was floating in it, he was going to kill it. And then the funny thing is that another memory is Sid. Oh, God. Yes, oh, this is so sweet. We were playing two barristers in England. He was against the prosecution, I was defending him. And he said, I'll fight you tooth and nail. I told him, Dad, I'll fight you tooth and nail. To win this case, I said, sure, you can, you young fellas. You got all your teeth and nails yet. But we were doing this while playing a game of pool. And this is another one of those moments where Sid had to ad-lib something. He had a pool cue, and he hit a shot, and the ball went roaming. And we had a score thing on, the string of wire where you push a pellet across. Good shot, I would say. And then I did, and then he had another shot where he put the pool cue against the felt, and we had a little crisscross score there, but his pool cue would go under the felt, and he would pull the cue up, and it would rip the felt. And I would say, good shot. And of course, the audience would laugh. We'd flap the felt back on. And he did 2 or 3 times, and each time he ripped more of the table. Then there was another slit going this way. There's a warp and woof to any kind of cloth. When he went this way, and he went to pull the pool cue out, it didn't rip. It bust the pool cue in half. So now he has in his hand a shillelagh. And I'm saying, good shot. And he's walking around the table. I said, what is he going to do? What is he going to do with the shillelagh?
This is on live television.
Live television. He's walking around with the shillelagh, and he's looking for the next shot. And it becomes a polo mallet. He takes a wind-up, he swings at the ball, hits the ball hits goes off the table, hits a wall, and I say, good shot. And I tell you, I laughed so hard. One of the worst things you could do on television, with Burl did it all the time, fake laughter, where you turn your back and shake and make believe something broke you up. He hated anybody breaking up on stage. He never broke up on. So what happened, I knew I couldn't break up, but I was laughing so hard internally, I actually bit my lip and I drew blood. I drew blood. I actually bit my lip and drew blood. That's how funny a man he was.